Greeks could rule the world. Alexander did. He took a Greek army to the far Indus. There was nothing left to conquer. The world was his. But Alexander is dead. His empire is gone. And so we live in evil days. The free men of Greece have turned on each other instead of their proper enemies, those who envy all the Greeks have done. Alexander must weep if the dead weep. I would weep in his place, but I would also hope. The world turns. What was may come again. The fates still spin the web of men's lives. So now, perhaps the gods wish Greeks to be great again. Perhaps a new Alexander will take up the sword. Bring order where there is chaos. Remake the world of men to a better plan. Perhaps.
Hello everyone, millions and millions subscribers of Titan Spargdia's channel. It is really great to be back to you. Today I am not doing anything battle related, so I'm not doing a battle commentary, I'm not doing live gameplay or anything like that. This time I'm doing something that I have never done, but has been done before in the community. I'm doing an interview. But the person that we have here on this podcast is a very special guest because he is, at least for me, is the, let's say, he is the guy who patented this project. So for me to be able to get, all the documents settled in and, all the, what do you call it, permissions received, it was a big hassle. At the end of the day, I am bringing you a content that costed me a lot, so you better watch it until the end. Nevertheless, as I said, we have a podcast here today, podcast or interview or a discussion with one and only Cleo. Hello, Cleo.
Hello. Hi. Good to be here after a while. I don't remember when was the last time that you invited me to your channel to do a commentary. Have been a
Man,
lot of years, I guess.
I was actually now going to ask you, like, it's been quite some time, right?
Yeah. I see you changed the furniture
The furniture of what?
of your place that you invited me.
Oh shit, man. Yeah, it's better, right?
Yeah.
Man, it's like all the monetization on YouTube gives me so much money. But
Yeah.
I got promoted. I got promoted on the biggest content creator of Rome Total War. He promoted me on his channel.
Oh,
I'm not
nice. Who?
I'm not gonna say his name. Man, don't even think about, I don't know, what do you call him? Like Prince of Macedon, Pixelated Apollo. No, man, not even
No.
close. Not even close. We are talking about H07 Luke. So he has been, what do you call it? Being a philanthropist or whatever you call it. So, anyways, because of him, I made a bunch of money. I invested in this studio, so I'm happy that you are feeling comfortable. But, anyways, enough about me. It's
All
about you.
right.
How are you feeling, Cleo?
Good in general terms.
Yeah.
Just to say something about those interviews, the project that you mentioned before, I think it has been done before me, but I didn't know it. It was, from the Russian community of Rome Total War. There were some interviews in Russian. I don't know who made them, but just heard people talking about it. But yeah,
I think you're right.
nevertheless. Yeah, but I didn't know it when I made it. I was kind of bored. People weren't playing at that point, so I said, "Yeah, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna stick around to the game, neither the people that I'm interviewing. So, It was a very special people chosen interviews. If
Yeah.
you
No, no, and they were very interesting, to be honest. They were very interesting. I mean, you did interview pretty much the guys that made game fun to play, at least at that point in time. So it was really good, interesting to listen to everybody's story, and it was fun also.
yeah, I
Man, I
think
was I
that's it.
wasn't expecting Leo though. I really liked Leo
Yeah,
podcast.
man, it was. I didn't expect it either, but he was down for it, and when Leo is talking about the past, he's like an uncle telling stories to his nephews about how things were at the past, like it was, I don't know, 50 years ago.
Yeah, yeah,
But
man.
I mean, his narration skill are OP. He should be, a bard in the medieval times or something like that.
Yes, man. Actually, that was pretty cool one. I mean, Leo is yeah, he's a strange character in the game. You know, it's like you don't think he's necessarily that competitive gameplay he has, but at the same time, he's so knowledgeable about the game, and also he can really articulate certain things so good. It's a really interesting character. I don't know if I made sense
Oh,
what I
but
said.
Leo can be competitive in team games only. I mean, when he has a team of Greek players against, I don't know, any other clan, he's very not competitive, but let's get our shit together, talk our strategy out, and try to beat them.
That's true, to be honest. I mean, lately
That's
we had a
that's a
game with him.
healthy, yeah. That's a healthy approach to the game. Like when if he's not teamed up with Greeks, where we can voice chat most of the times and discuss the tactics, the kind of the arms that we're bringing, and how we're going to unfold our strategy in the battle. He's very cool. Like he's playing KWR rules. So yeah, he's an all-around, let's say, all-around about all-around approach to the game. He can be friendly. He can play just to chill out, or he can play, given the correct persons competitively, let's say.
Yeah. No, that absolutely makes sense. And Leo is one of those guys that also the fact that he exists, it makes you kind of feel good that you also play the game. You know what I mean? Like I remember his interview that he was talking about, setting up this Greek clan forum and all these web pages, and he was naming it like his child. And he's so passionate about Rome. But I know Leo, like he's not like some random guy who doesn't have anything else to do in life. He's a very busy man, right? You know him very well. But still, it feels good to know that he also likes to play Rome Total War.
Yeah, I mean, after a while, it turns to be a hobby. A hobby you never quit, let's say. Maybe there are times that you have, more time to do your hobby, or sometimes you may be away from your hobby for months, maybe. But it doesn't mean that you forget about it or you don't go back to it when you have the time to do it.
True, true, man. Now I see Beast is back. You are occasionally back. Mohammed, you guys have had your time in the past, but it still feels good that you come for some chill games. And actually, we were talking about it. That you were saying how certain things does come back to you, right?
Yeah.
But let me ask you, man, how did you start playing Rome? Like, how did you get to know it? When was it?
I think it was in 2010, 11. I'm not sure. And the funny thing is that I started by, I had the game and played campaign way like in 2004, and then I never played the game again, never played it online because, I had the pirated version of the game. So, like most of the people, I guess, which is not a very interesting story. I watched some Prince of Macedon's videos on YouTube, and I said, yeah, why not? I should try and play online. So, regular stuff, siege battles, bridge battles, no rules battles, stuff like that. And then I think I saw Helios from Titans Clan. And back then, Titans was a new clan formed by him, and he was recruiting noobs like myself, and he was trying to, train them in some basic stuff. And I remember that we used to play CWB in large scale, which is kind of weird. And then, we had good players, although they weren't that good by that time, of course. Actually, we were playing a lot with Beast. Beast was clanless, so we convinced him somehow because we were playing very regularly. And even though we were, let's say, a noob clan, we were able to beat HOS sometimes, even though after they were losing, they would whine and say, CWB is not played in large scale, blah, blah, blah. But still, they lost a lot of games, actually, to be honest. And then, yeah, we were also playing 31K, but I remember, I was playing on a shitty laptop and, I got like 3 frames per second
Oh
in
my god.
4v4 games. Yeah, man, it was fucking terrible. So I didn't like 31K back then because it gave me a lot of lag. So I didn't enjoy the game, so I preferred to play CWB,
Hmm.
which I found it interesting, and I was fresh in the game. So, CWB also has a strategy way to pick your armies to to play as a team. And after a while, I saw the Greek clan, and they were playing 31K, but I wouldn't join their game since, like I said, uh, it gave me a lot of lag, large scale, 31K. So occasionally I would join for 1 or 2 games max, 3 versus 3. I wouldn't dare to play 4v4. And it was around the time that everyone was discussing about moving on Rome 2. Rome 2 hasn't been released yet, but everybody was very excited about, going to Rome 2. And I remember I used to play a lot with Iraklis on Rome 1, and he was telling me, what are you going to do? Are Titans going to move on Rome 2? And I remember the Titans said that they are not going to move on Rome 2 basically because that meant that they needed to buy a new computer,
Mm.
and no one was willing to do so. And they were very skeptical about the game, if it's gonna be like Rome 1 or worse. Most of the people actually, they were very, how do you say that, suspicious about the game not being like Rome 1, because between Rome 1 and Rome 2, many other games of the Total War series were in between, and they knew that the formula has changed of the game, so they were like, okay, maybe not, we will see how the game is gonna be, and if it's nice, maybe we're going to upgrade to a better computer and buy the game. So Iraklis told me that the Greek clan was going to move on Rome 2, and that was true, at least at the start. Hasimachos, Timokritos, Leonidas, and Iraklis, of course, went on Rome 2. So that was the first time I think that Rome 2 died, actually, for the first months when Rome 2 was released. So it was just me with Titan Stags and nobody else. Even BH was playing Rome 2. If you scroll down to to Spartan Commander's videos, for example, you will see that he has some Rome 2 games uploaded. The whole Rome Total War community tried to move on Rome 2, but then they found out that the way the battles unfold is it's not of their taste, so they returned to Rome 1. But that took some months to happen. So I was just me, and I said, okay, all right, fuck it. I bought a new PC as well for Rome 2, so I said, okay, I'm going to go to the Greek clan. And then was Diomedes, who decided not to move on Rome 2, so he stuck on Rome 1, and I was with him. He trained me, and then people were coming back on Rome 1, so he started training me on 31K and generally on the game, and then we were stuck on Rome 1, I guess.
And then you joined the Greek clan.
Yes, it was like 2013, 14,
So, man,
something like that.
when you said like going back to this, your let's say engagement with Helios, and you said that he started to train you. We are talking about roughly 12 years of a difference, and I think the concept of a training or the process of training has changed a lot because the game perhaps have evolved, right? So when you say Helios was training you, or even later Dio was training you, at that point, were there still many things that had to be discovered, evolved, the way we do the things right now? Were they all known at that point already? So what was the situation like?
You know, I said it before, it was a very basic training with Helios, like how to phalanx charge, for example, or how to charge through with your cavalry, for example. That was known stuff. With Dio, it was, more specified training, not about, how to charge through or how to, phalanx charge, but it was more about, camera movement, how to set up your camera and watch both yourself and your ally, how to form up with your ally, defend with your ally, attack with your ally. It was the training with Dio was all right. It was also for individual factions and how to use them in 1v1 situations, but basically it was about teamwork,
Mm.
how to be a good team player and how to, perform with another Greek, depending on the faction that you have, against Roman armies, basically. Because the first thing, because everyone was taking Rome back then, it took some years to see our opponents take any other faction except Rome. It was only Titans after a while started taking Pike factions as well.
Mm.
They started with Mohammed, I think. But before that, everyone was taking Rome, so everything had to do how to face Rome, like Greece and Seleucids versus two Romes, Greece and Macedon versus two Romes, double Macedons versus two Romes. It was like a more, how do you say, brain training. It wasn't about clicking. It
Yeah.
was about that as well, but the main focus was how to be a team player, to have teamwork, and try to think that your army is not just the unit cards that you have, that your army is the army of your allies as well, and how you need to, keep an eye on them, perform together. Because to be honest, 31K it's not a 1v1 rule set. There are like two or three balanced matchups that you can play 1v1. 31K was meant to be for team battles, not 1v1.
I agree with that. So you can we say that you were first trained by Diomedes? Or let me ask something else. Was Dio experienced player already when you joined the Greek clan? Like how long have he been playing? Has he been playing the game?
He wasn't that experienced. I mean, he started playing the game the same period around myself, but he joined the Greeks the moment that he joined Rome Total War Online, or while after. Me, on the other hand, I started playing CWB in large, CWB in normal, a few 31K battles. So he wasn't that experienced. He didn't know everything. He was well trained though, from Leo, Hasi, and Demo. But because with Dio we played for a lot of years together, he was improving uh, year by year. So he found out some new stuff. I found out some others. So it was like training on the job, let's say.
Mm,
uh, we found out some stuff, especially Dio. We try to put them on the textbook of the Greek clan.
yeah, yeah. So,
I-
man, tell me now. I mean, we're gonna come back to what Cleo means for the Greek clan later. But what is different in the Greek clan than the others? Like what makes it so specific? I mean, does it even have something specific about it? Like as someone who has been to the clan for years.
for me, it's Greek clan is a special clan, not because we are the best players or something like that. It's a different clan because the way it started from Menandros, it was like, okay, we are Greeks, we should play with pikes, even though imagine 2007, 2008, nobody was taking pikes. Everyone was just taking Rome in 31K. I don't know what they were doing in CWB or TWPL. That's a different rule set. But in order to take only pikes against Roman factions, it required a lot of balls. And in order to do that, the Menandros and the other Greek clan members accepted that they are going to get beaten most of the times, because only if you play and lose you learn. So they were trying to evolve the tactics with pikes and trying to evolve, playing together as a team, because the strength of the pikes is the teamwork, nothing else. Individually, the pike units are not good. Let's say 1v1 they lose versus Romans. So that's the special thing, that it was a clan that decided to get, the underground factions by the time, and try to be competitive with them and try to explore the game. Because if it's special for a Roman player to know that the Studo, the special ability of the Roman legions protects you from Pila, or you can, stay in the Studo and have better morale, let's say. In order to explore the Pike factions and find out what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, how you can, you know, uh, put on the surface the good things that the Pikes have, and try to exploit their strengths in a game that is based on Rome, and uh, it gives an advantage to the Romans. That's pretty much something different, right? It's something that no one else tried to do it.
No, absolutely. So I think that's clear that I think nobody is arguing against the fact that um, Greeks have started the concept of, the playing with spikes, um, you know, um, how to win with them, what are the weaknesses and the strengths. Do you think somebody else contributed the way pikes are played right now than Greek clan members? Are you?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it could be. Like, for example, the only clans that they are taking. Well, now everyone is taking pikes, to be honest. All the players. It used to be a taboo, I think, in the past, but right now it's not. But for me, if someone has contributed to, to how the Pike factions operate, I think it's Greeks. And then, I don't know, I don't want to be unjust for someone, but it doesn't. I can't remember, to be honest. I know that Titans are very, very good with Pikes as well, but in the terms of contribution, like find out something that no one else has found before, and you are, I don't know, maybe a different approach of the game. Like, for example, I remember Mohammed was using Macedon in a slight different way than we used to use. Try to flank and then capture the urbans. Um, I'm trying to remember. I mean, Beast uh, doesn't play with bikes often, but he's decent with them. Not not because he tried to think about stuff about them or try stuff, just because he's good player anyway, so he can't do bad. Hades never played with bikes. Mohammed was the only one who
Mm.
used to take bikes. The funny thing with Mohammed is like he used to copy exactly the same armies that we used to bring against him in team games most of the times, or even in 1v1s. And he took the specific army and he tried to, uh, to use them the way he used to play. And then, yeah, I mean, he's one of the best pike players right now. But I'm sorry, but I can't think someone else saying that, for example, other players like uh, outside the Titans in the Greek land, they can, take a million of archers, gold 3 cavalry and infantry and play, but they are doing this with Roman factions as well. So I don't think that's a contribution or a different play style.
Yeah. Do, do you think you know there is a certain way of coming, there's only one idea that you have to implement in certain matchup. Do you believe in it? Let's say you have Macedon and Greek cities and you're fighting against double Rome. Do you
Yeah.
think that in order to win this game you have to have only one idea and you have to stick to it? Or like what is the exact formula to win a matchup like this in such a big disadvantage?
I don't think like a lot of things depend on what army are you going to bring and what army your opponents are going to bring. But I don't think there's only one formula. Like you cannot bet on one formula and take and select two armies that they can only work based on this only idea. Because if your idea is fact depending on what your opponents bring, then you have no plan B, right? So you need to bring something balanced. I think something that can answer to several uh, different army builds of the opponent. Like, for example, you should take cavalry, right? You're Greece and Macedon. Macedon should bring the cavalry.
Mm.
Or you know, you can have one idea, like you can say we're not taking any archers, we're taking 20 Spartans, gold attack, 14 pikemen for Macedon, and 6 cavalry, and we're going to Kunras. And everything that stands between us is gonna get killed. That's one idea. But maybe your rush, it's not, performed well, or it's countered by, the skirmish abilities of the enemy team. So at that point, you need to improvise somehow and make sure that your choice not bringing archers, for example, won't cost you the game. So you need to think during the game as well. It's not like you think of a plan when you choose your army and you stick to it no matter what, because there is, you know, uh, something happens and you cannot follow the plan that you had in mind at the first place.
So, what was it like for the Greek clan? Let's say you are randomly on a lobby.
Hmm.
So, what are the steps that you guys take to win the battle? Like from the faction selection, from I don't know who's leading the game, who's giving the orders. Like, what is the general idea like there?
The matchup, you say, like
No,
you say,
not the specific matchup.
yeah, yeah. How you're gonna select factions? It's pretty
No, like
simple.
what I mean is that you have the certain factions.
Yes.
You head into the game.
Hmm.
So how do you how do you try to win it as a team? What is your golden
All right.
formula? Like it's not about the play style, it's not about the army build, like as a mindset.
Like for example, we have one that leads the game, the battle, which means like if it's a 3v3, he decides what kind of armies his two allies will bring. And during the battle, he explains his plan, and he he gives instructions of how he wants the game to be played, where the cavalry should move, where the infantry should move, if s- I- if he wants someone of his ally to split his infantry to do archer war, to charge a specific place, or to rush an opponent. So he gives the orders, the other follow, and it is, and you need to, to be fast when you're given a command. You need to respond fast
Hmm.
in order to make it happen. But of course, if you see something, you can tell him. Like if you see an opportunity, for example, or if you see something that he haven't seen.
So you are very much obedient to the lead.
Yeah, because you can't have a discussion. You
But
don't have the time to do that.
so
Like for
this is a,
example,
I mean, I knew actually this is the case in the Greek clan, but I always try to think about, there are situations that you cannot just ask the lead, you know, or you cannot wait the lead to figure it out because it's also difficult. So, do you have some flexibility there that you also have some independence, or you are just 100%
no, no,
obey?
no. I mean, like for example, the one who leads the battle will tell you, if you are Macedon, engage the Romans in front of you. He won't tell you how to move your units. You
Mhm.
know how to engage the Roman faction with the Pike faction. So all the movements that you're doing, that you're doing, you're phalanx charging, you're putting pikes on loose, you are engaging again, you're using your reserves to plug the gaps that maybe your front line has suffered. It doesn't tell you like move one unit forward, or plug the gap that it's been created. You do that by
Mm,
yourself. Like he's the one who makes, let's say, the big decisions, like we move the cavalry on the right and we are going to do a cap fight, or stuff like this.
I see. I see. I see.
Like
So
for example, if someone is leading and he has Pontus, for example, and he has a Greek city-states ally, he will tell him attack Rome. He won't tell him how to attack. Supposedly, he's a Greek clan member. He knows how to attack Rome or Sparta.
but in general, let's say still there is a general vision, and you have to stick to that. And
Yes,
suddenly you come to an idea that okay, no, the battle has to go in this pathway. It's not like the case. So you still have to pretty much stick to the general plan. I mean, I like this, to be honest. I like this approach, and I think in the long run, it is more successful than any other,
it's
right?
a military clan. Like it started like this. Like one strategos that leads the game, and the others have to, you know, obey. And that's why we had ranks.
Hmm.
Hoplites, phalangites, and then generals. So, in order to give motives to the players, to get medals, 1v1 medals, faction medals, team medals. So, the higher rank that you are, if you are with someone that is a lower rank, you will lead the game, the battle, and he has to follow. Or if you have two generals, let's say, in the battle, they will, talk to each other and say, okay, who is going to lead you or me?
Yeah.
But it's not like we have two generals, so both will lead the game, the battle. One will lead, the other will follow. Because I think, that's how the battle should be played. Like I said before, it's not a discussion because if we're trying to discuss which move is better during the battle, we are losing a lot of time and maybe we get, fucked while we discuss that.
Yeah.
It happened a lot of times, by the way.
Well, I can imagine. I can imagine. Man, so it's almost what, 10 years since you started first time playing the game? So
I
it's
think more.
maybe more.
Yeah.
So, um, what do you like about this game, man? Why did you stay playing it? So there've been so many other games, and I I think Rome has a lot of issues too, specifically on a multiplayer level. So what was it that kept you play this game?
I don't know, man. I don't. I mean, I like the way the battles are played. I like the units. I mean,
You were getting hard when you were playing.
no, I really don't know. I mean, I shouldn't be playing this game anymore, to be honest. And but I'm not really playing it since I don't know when. After COVID, uh, I I barely touched the game. Nowadays, I'm starting to play a little bit more. But the reason is maybe it's not why I like the game that much, or it's just an easy way for me, to relax from work before going to sleep, play 1, 2 games maybe. But I don't have any competitiveness for the
No, I
game
know,
anymore.
but man, this is the question I ask to myself. Like sometimes I'm like so surprised that I keep playing this game because there are so many issues with it. Like we all know, it needs to be optimized. It doesn't work on the modern machines. Like the
Yeah,
multiplayer depends on so many things. It's 90% of the cases, it's like lag, glitch, my usual self always complaining about it.
yeah.
But then I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is it that kept us playing it, you know?
Maybe it's the easy solution. Like, what are you gonna do? You know how to play the game?
What
Okay.
are you gonna do with your life?
No, I mean, what are you gonna do? At least that's how I play. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go to bed in 1 hour. Everyone is sleeping, and you feel like you don't feel sleepy. Okay, let's play BH game and then go to bed. I mean,
But man, there are so many other games, but somehow it feels good playing this game. No, not
Yeah,
it,
man,
it,
it feels
it
even
feels like it feels good, specifically now Beast is back. Like sometimes Mo, sometimes you, Bubo. Like it somehow feels good for
it
some
feels
reason.
good. Yeah, I don't know why.
And same myself. Like, I mean, it's not like I sit and think about it all the time playing this game, but occasionally I do. But maybe I don't know. But to be very honest with you, I think it's in my case, I'll tell you. I
All
think
right.
in my case it's a childhood memory. I don't know if I told you in your podcast when you were interviewing me. So I was going to, every weekend I was visiting this cousin of mine. He was he's like, I don't know, maybe 10 years older than me. So I'm talking about 2006, 2008. I was a little kid and I was watching him play the campaign. And I don't
Yeah.
know why. I maybe I adore the guy very much, and I wanted to play this game. I wanted to be good at it, I wanted to be good at the campaign and stuff. And I had the game installed on my broken computer at home, but then, there was a years of gap, and then somehow I came back to it because there wasn't a lot of games that I played in general. So there was some connection with my past, being exposed to the game as a kid. It's like some memory, and it felt good. I mean, generally, the game itself is good, and it's also fun to play. But I had such a story. But you don't, right?
No. But I had the childhood memories playing the campaign as well, but not on my cousin's computer on my own. But
But man, I wasn't playing. That's
yeah, I
the
know, I know, I know, I know. But the thing is that that's uh, that's what got me started, childhood memories. But then competitiveness struck my door, and
yeah.
then actually before that, the will to learn more about the game and be good at it, it was the second thing. And then when I was properly trained and I saw, the capabilities of the game, okay, it makes you think that, okay, I need to play again and again and again, see this, see that, do this, do that. But when you do that, there's a certain threshold that you reach, and then whatever you play doesn't give you, um, how do you say that? Wait,
A
it doesn't
pleasure.
give you, yeah, the pleasure that it used to give you, or the anxiety, and this eagerness to play and see matchups. Because to be honest, 31K is, like I said before, 1v1 is very limited. Also in team games, you
Hmm.
cannot take all the factions, let's say. So you have played 20 times or 30 times Greece Macedon versus two Romes. It's not like the first time that you've played it. And when you reach a certain level, then you say, okay, I played it so many times. I know what the general idea of this matchup is. I know what I have to do. So it gives you, it reduces the pleasure
Hmm.
out of the game, and then it just becomes a habit, let's say, and you continue playing it. You still enjoy it, but you don't enjoy it as much as you used to enjoy it. So actually, that's the circle of every video game, I guess, that people play. That at some point you need to drop it because it doesn't offer you anything. It doesn't offer you something anymore.
Yeah.
At least that's what I see. That's why I told you before, I don't have, I can't see this game competitive for me anymore. I just, play for the old time sake, if you like. Move the units around, make a good charge, you know.
When you have time to spend and to waste.
Yes, instead of watching stupid videos, I guess, and I just want to relax, I can play a game or two if someone
Mm,
is online. But in the past, I used to, spam people. Let's go on Rome. Let's play. Blah blah. So right now, I'm not messaging a single person. Like I go online if someone is online, I would play him
mm.
just for the
So
lols.
I think more or less also the, the community itself contributed to the fact that it was fun to play or fun to beat and fun to compete, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, there was a period that there were a lot of Titans online, and Greeks were way more active. So we would go and play competitive slash friendly games against each other, and that was, I mean, for me, it was the best games I ever had. And knowing that's another reason, knowing how good the battles can be, and right now they're pretty shit.
Yeah.
You say, okay, I used to enjoy actually the game way more when I was playing with specific people, and right now I'm not enjoying the game that much, or I don't enjoy it at all. So why play?
Man, you see, I think that's a very good point there. Because sometimes, let's see, three Titans are online, like myself, Bubo, Beast, and then you join. Or four Titans are online and we do two versus two. That doesn't give as much pleasure as playing against you and Dio, you know?
Yeah,
Uh,
I
th-
know. Yeah, I understand.
So there is something there that really made it extremely, extremely interesting. And I honestly, um, those are the type of games I think I was mainly addicted to. I mean,
Yeah, me
it's not
too.
like I had a many chance. Honestly, I didn't have a lot of opportunity to have so many games as you did in the past, but still they were really fun to do. So let's say now Dio has been inactive for quite some time, I guess.
A lot
Um,
of 2 years, 3 years,
two
something
to
like that.
3 years, I think. 3 years, I
Yeah.
think. 3 years or more than 3 years. If Dio is back, so is it a good incentive for you to play the game even more?
Yes, but I won't go to the other side. I mean, I won't say, okay, Dio is back, Titans are back. I'm gonna not like the game. I can't do that, even if I wanted to. But of course, I would play when I can, and I would be way more happy to have those kind of games instead of, you know, playing anyone else.
Hmm. Yeah.
And what you said before is because I think Titans love me. You know that, but they don't like Dio. Most of them. So, but Dio wasn't, a guy who would he would just play. He would play the game. He wouldn't be a drama queen or whatever. Maybe he would say something that other people won't like it, even from Titans clan. But what kept the spark of this game was that he was an excellent player, very good player. Titans were also good, excellent players as well. Having people from Titans clan, they never wanted to lose against Dio. And Dio didn't like losing against them. I didn't like losing against them as well. But with me it was a little bit different because let's say we were friends with Titans, me and them. So against Dio, for them they had to beat Dio and Dio had to beat them. So it was like a 50-50
So man,
competitive slash friendly game. That's why I said before it was competitive.
Man, you
and
see,
friendly game.
there was this a little bit of an exchange between you, me, Bubo, Beast a couple of weeks ago, where I was saying that this kind of competitiveness and a little bit of a toxicity, not like, you go and swear at each other's family and insult their mother, but in general, this, you know, virtual hatred or what, for whatever reason that was there that they didn't like each other. But this really makes game in a way more fun, no? If it wasn't the
Yes,
case, I think
but
that
you need to know, yeah, but the problem is that you need to know that it won't get, more serious, and you never knew that. I
so
mean, there were
what it was stressful.
sometimes, no, not stressful, but sometimes the games were ruined just because, Bubo would say something against Dio, Dio will answer back, and I'm saying Bubo in a random way. It could be anyone else from Titans, or it could be Mohammed. But the thing is that they didn't hold a grudge, and by saying that I mean they wouldn't say I had a beef with this guy yesterday, so I'm not going to play with him again, because they knew all parties involved that the better games that the best games that each that we could have were
Mm.
against each other. So no matter the toxicity that you were saying, deep down we were just playing for the game.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Because we
exactly
had,
what I want to describe. I think that is
yeah,
that is the thing that you guys were going through, and I think that's the thing that's missing. So because what we have now, we have certain level of toxicity, and in between some players, like you don't want to lose against this guy, or he doesn't want to lose against you, and you basically want to dominate each other, but it's not like you basically you want to win every game. It's not the case,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
but against this specific guy, you just don't want to lose. And that was the case with, for example, Dio, when I would play. And honestly, I played even when I started, when I was as a shit. I mean, at some point, I understood what I'm playing. But currently, that, you know, competition that existing in the community, it's so d- not interesting, It's so not fun. And some
I know.
And some players, I think, don't understand it. Don't understand it why. And it's also not easy to articulate why it's not fun. So maybe you
Like,
can
yeah, tell me.
you can help me. Let's say, um, specifically with the players that have the CWB background, that they always try to make a point against Titans and the Greek clan. It feels like that. But I mean, sometimes they would be a really good games. I don't say it, but it's like those games are. It never felt like, okay, this is my passion. This is the type of game that I'm logging on to ROM, and it never felt like it's the otherwise for Beast, Mohammed, or yourself. So maybe you can give me your perspective why it is the case. Like, why is it more fun for you to beat Mohammed and the Beast than to play against, I don't know, Zeke and Nidintu, or Luke and I don't know, whoever.
Okay. I like, for example, because we had the games with the Titans clan, which were competitive and they were hard games and they were all fun games. I really fucking enjoyed all the games. And if you ask the Titans, they would say that they were a better team. If you ask us, we will say that we were a better team. But the difference between the other example I'm going to give in a second is that we didn't care if Beast and Mohammed would say that they are a better duo than me and Dio. We let them think that we were thinking otherwise, and it was all good. Like, they would say we are better, we would say we are better, and that's it. And to be honest, we never discussed that. Like we never said to each other, "Oh, we're better than you." We just played the games, and I'm sure secretly both teams were keeping track of the score, and not the score of the day, but the score in general. Like how many times have we faced two Greeks against two Titans, three Greeks against three Titans? So the score is 20-20 or 25-21. So in the long run, who is going to be better? But that was a healthy competition, if you ask me. And like I said, we didn't mind if Titans thought the other way. The Titans didn't mind as well if we thought the other way around. But the problem is that we never, nor the Titans, came and say, you know, we are better than you. We are better in 31K. We're better in team battles or something like that. But so, like I said, that was a healthy gameplay, healthy games. Both teams thinking that they are better, but nevertheless, they still play together. They want to win. Even if they lose, they recognize that they had good games and they move forward to play another game or, play another day. Uh, but for example, when 31K was becoming more and more popular among the Rome Total War clans, let's say, other people from CWB clans that in the past, if you were talking about them, if you were talking about 31K, they would think of it like a lesser rule set, a rule set for noobs. But surprisingly, they want it to be as good as in 31K as they were in CWB. So they thought that, okay, since we are pros in the fucking God rule set, which is CWB, we're gonna fucking rule on 31K. And that started from HOS. And when they declared the war on IOW, Immortals of War, and they said, okay, we're gonna fuck you no matter the rule set, and we said, okay, let's play 31K rules, they thought that they were going to win so easily, and they got their ass handed. And they lost because they had the best players. They had Zeke, they had Sent, they had Nidintu. Luke was very small in HOS clan back then, so I don't think he ever played. They had Madge. All those players were fucking great in CWB, but they failed to win in 31K. So the fact that they lost, even though they were, making up excuses, it proved to them that even though they are very good in 31K and they look down at, they were very good at CWB and they looked down at 31K, they realized that they are not the best players all around, no matter the rule set. So they started to be more active in 31K, especially Nidintu, Luke, Madge at some extent, but not very much. He accepted that he wasn't very good in in 31K. And they started training and they started playing more often 31K. And because, some of them were loudmouths and they were talking shit, they, Nidinto and Luke, for example, they said, all right, let's we are better than you, blah 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 blah. So they host the Great Games, which was a CWB based rule set. It had Cup of Nations rules, CWB rules, and 31K rules. And the fact that they were beaten in all rules, or the result was a draw, CWB, Cup of Nations, and 31K, and me, Heracles, and Dio won the trophy, let's say, made them think that, you know, oops, we were playing CWB, and even though we say we are pros in CWB, we lose in CWB as well, and we lose in 31K. So they were, I don't know, man, frustrated. I don't know, something rang in their heads that reality is different the way they think it is. So, and then we started playing more competitive games against Nidinto and Luke, for example, me and Dio, and later on against Hamilcar and Luke. Nidinto stopped playing for some reason, and then he had some, periods of time that he was absent. Sometimes he returned, some other times he would play more often. And then you hosted the how was your tournament called? The Eclipse tournament, right?
Hmm.
Which was only 31K. And at that point, I guess they had several years playing 31K. So in the first Eclipse tournament, Nidinto and Luke lost to me and to Dio again. So we won Eclipse 1. And on the second Eclipse, they lost to another 31K clan, Titans clan, against Mohammed and Sparky, I think,
Hmm.
right?
Correct.
So that made, I don't know, man, they couldn't accept it, even though I have uh, no issue to admit that I'm not good in CWB, for example. I'm just a mediocre player. Also because I don't play it anymore. I haven't played CWB for years, but even when I was playing, I wouldn't be, one of the best players in CWB, and I didn't have that goal, to be honest. I played what I played, and I wanted to be good at the rule sets and at the gameplay that I enjoyed. I didn't, wanted to won trophies or awards just for the awards or the trophies themselves. I just wanted to enjoy the game. If I enjoyed the game playing in 31K tournament, sure. Because also the Great Games rules and your Eclipse tournament rules were very, you know, they weren't just standard rules. They had some, nice tweaks that made the tournament more exciting. So after they lost the Great Games, they lost the Eclipse 1, Eclipse 2, then I don't know, man. Everything went mental. And they tried. I don't know what happened then because I wasn't playing that often. Like after Eclipse 2, I had a lot of time, going off game and then playing the game again. So I didn't really keep track of what was going on. But yes, what I wanted to say, the conclusion is that with Nidinto and Luke, for example, because we faced them in those two tournaments and there was saltiness from both sides, those were competitive games as well. We didn't enjoy them that much as we did with Titans, even though we won a tournament. For me, it didn't make any difference. It
Mm.
made a difference just, talk shit to Luke and Nidinto. But in the terms of enjoying the game, I wouldn't exchange the games that I had versus the Titans with any tournament award. Like, uh, it was way better. And the feeling, and the gameplay, and everything.
So your greatest opponents are the Titans.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it all makes sense.
The stronger enemies, and also the the people that I enjoyed playing against more than anyone else.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think um at the end of the day it's I don't know. It doesn't define how you're gonna feel, um, in your daily life. So everybody comes to play and have fun.
Like for example, against Nidinto and Luke, we had the feeling that I'm gonna prove you in the game that you are inferior to us.
Exactly. Exactly. That
I'm
is,
going
I
to
think,
prove you in the game. That's not a very good thought.
uh,
Playing a video game.
and I think that's the exact same thing that made all of this a little bit more, tiring. Uh,
Because I mean, man, now memories come to me. I remember there was one night we were playing. I don't know, man, how many hours? 7 hours. Me, Iraklis, Beast and Mohammed, or Hades and Mohammed, and we were switching teams. Me and Mo versus Iraklis and Hades. Me and Iraklis versus Mo and Hades, which was fucking brilliant, man.
yeah.
And you can understand the mentality of the players. It was two Greeks and two Titans, and we knew that both of us enjoy the game in a specific way to be played. Not specific arms, specific way,
Hmm.
which is way more general. It doesn't define your gameplay at all, but is it's just the way that you feel about the game. Uh, Yeah, I wouldn't exchange this night for two tournaments because we played, I don't know, 12 games and we closed the game, we quit the game just because we were, I don't know, man, we were sleeping in our keyboards. Maybe we slept on our keyboards and we didn't realize. Yeah, but with those guys was like, I'm gonna prove you that we are better in the game than you, and was just I mean, it's not a good argument to play a game to prove that someone else is worse than you. The point of playing a game is that I enjoy a game, that's why I play it, because it gives me joy. If you lose a game against them, you will feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, I lost to them and now they are gonna think blah blah blah. But when we lost to the Titans, we were like, okay, let's go to the other game, next game.
Yeah.
We did this, and this. Uh, Not good. We're gonna improve it on the next game. But it was like, no problem.
Yeah. Who's your best ally? I mean, I think this is kind of an obvious answer.
Dio.
So, is it because, it's a years of experience, or it's because it's just, the type of a player that just clicks, and you were just lucky to be in the same clan, to pretty much start at the same time? Because I mean, there are certain players that you might have played all the time together for years, but you're still not a strong team, right?
Yeah, that could happen. But
So,
because I am when I started playing 31K, I had little to zero knowledge of the game on 31K, so Dio pretty much showed me everything that he knew. And because he was leading the games, he kind of, implemented his philosophy and his strategy on my head, on my brain. And given the fact that we have played, I don't know how many, like 1.5 thousand games with him, I'm, I can't choose anyone else because truly he was the best ally I could cooperate with.
hmm,
Okay, but that means, a lot of arguments, a lot of fights, but at the end of the day, yeah, thinking clearly, I can't
even
choose someone else.
even so you would have more chance of winning the game if you had Dio by your side than Iraklis.
That's a hard question. Because I have played with Iraklis a lot of games as well. We have won a 2v2 tournament with Iraklis hosted by Mohammed in 2015. it's hard. You know why? Not just
I think
because,
maybe because with Heracles you didn't play as many games as you did with Dio.
but I will tell you something else. The freedom that you get playing with Heracles is more because Dio is more dependent on his ally. Heracles, when you play 2v2 with him, he will do 80% of the things by himself, and he will give you like very limited amount of orders how to play the game, because he's an 1v1. Heracles is better than Dio, let's say. So Heracles will know what kind of army you have, and he will give you instructions of how to use your army, and he will make you use it as little as possible. He will try to make the max out of his army and his units before using yours.
Hmm.
Like for example, he would prefer to surround an infantry enemy army with his infantry rather than asking you to do hammer and anvil with your cavalry, let's say.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, he's more. I also play with. I would go for Dio because they're more fun games. But with Heracles, I got that feeling that everything is going to be okay. No matter what you do, you don't have to worry.
So, um, man, Heracles is like a Pandora box. I mean, I've never played with the guy, or very occasionally, maybe one or two game. But it's just one of those names. It's like a mythology, you know? So what makes Heracles so special? Is he the best player that ever played this game?
For me,
Or
yes.
so would you consider him the player that was the best
Yeah,
no matter what the rule set he's playing? Or 31k?
31k for sure. And when Heracles joined the Greek clan, he helped the clan a lot. By that time, 2010, 9, the clan was like using pikes very defensively. Okay, they were experimenting with some stuff, and they were trying to. They didn't know everything, of course. They were trying to, win with Pontus and Macedon. And when Heracles joined the Greek clan, he was such a great player that he, you know, found a way to attack with pretty much all pike factions against Romans. He found a lot of things that gave the pike some, uh, you know, buffs, let's say. He exploited the game and found out a lot of things to beat Romans, to beat other pike factions with the pike faction. Strategically, he found new methods and ways that we should, perform in team games. And generally, he gave a boost that everyone else, I think, couldn't. We couldn't have done it without him. He opened the eyes of my clanmates in a lot of things. Maybe they had some. They were narrow visioned in some aspects, and then Heracles proved them that there are a lot of things that we haven't found yet, and a lot of things that they need to be discovered. And he was the only one who used to play 1v1 and CWB. No one else was bothered playing 1v1 31k. They thought, well, which is partially right, that 31k is a team based rule set. But Heracles would, go more and play 1v1s, play CWB, 31k 1v1, and he was, for me, he's the best player because he won CWB tournaments as well, and he played CWB for a very limited amount of time. He couldn't dare. Um, he couldn't stand the toxicity that much, and then Rome 2 came out. Don't forget, when Rome 2 came out, Heracles was disappeared. He became, I don't know, also the best player on Rome 2. He has won, I don't know how many tournaments in the worlds. Yeah, he went to Rome 2, and after 2012, then Rome 2 was released, he would only come back to play competitive games. He has never been a trash talker or whatever. He would just come, play, and leave. Like, I would never forget in the great games that he was playing CWB and Con on the tournament, and he was beating HOS Clan that they used to play every day, this rule set. And Heracles comes after 4 years of inactivity and he fucking beat them, man. How can you explain this? I can't. So I cannot say that someone else is better than him because he has played 1/8 of the hours that everyone else has spent on the game, and he's still, you know, uh, one of the best.
Yeah. I think he's also, I mean, he's generally talented for the video games.
Yeah, man. I mean, Dio used to say that Heracles' brain is just a PC. That he's so good at any video game that he plays, Europa Universals, for example, or FIFA, or I don't know, whatever else he's playing. He's so fucking good. And the thing is that he used to tell us that he doesn't use keyboard. Like, he plays Rome just with the mouse. So
How, man?
everything,
How was
camera,
he doing it?
hotkeys, no hotkeys, and only mouse.
What the
And
fuck,
he's,
man?
man, yeah, you tell me. So I cannot pick someone else. Really, I can't.
Man,
And
that's very strange. You see, that guy is an actual Pandora box of From Total War. Like, that's the thing, man. I think specifically with certain players, I think um, i- giving credit and respecting good players is part of also enjoying the game that you play, no? And I don't know why at this point somebody would claim to be the best, while many talented, gamers have dropped the game for years. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it's it shouldn't generally sound fun, yeah? Like that's the thing. I think it makes it very boring to you know to be in the same lobby, to play against, win or lose. It just doesn't make sense because it's like it's like you are getting dirty. You know what I mean? You
yeah,
you
yeah.
you get into the mud and you just get dirty. You just be part of the thought.
It's like using hacks in a video game,
Ex- yes,
like
man.
toggle foe, add money 20,000, like the commands that used to be on Rome Total War single player. Yeah, it's like this. Dio used to say, "Where are all those people that claim to be the best?" The time that we used to play, and they were playing as well. Now that we are not playing, they cannot claim anything. It's like going on the cemetery and saying, "I'm alive. I am the best." Yeah, you are better than the dead, I guess.
Yeah. So, speaking of the best player or all of these, you know, discussions, and you know that there've been
One
bunch of
sec, one sec, sorry, one sec.
sure. Dear subscribers, now we're gonna have a quick tea break. Now we're going to go for the commercial break. Grab your beer, grab your cigarettes, get your coffee, and come back.
Yeah, sorry, tell me.
Man, I was announcing the commercial break.
Ah, all right.
But you came back, man. From this commercial break, I was going to make millions. Shit.
All right, we can make it later.
Man, what do you think after this podcast airs?
What do you mean?
How my, once this podcast is uploaded, how my
Yeah.
financial situation look like?
Uh, I think it will improve a lot.
Yeah, man. Um, so what I was asking, this all of
Yeah.
these discussions about the best player, there've been bunch of players in the game that I've seen they were setting up this ranking system and etc.
Yeah.
I mean, generally, I understood your opinion about all of these discussions, but for you, without
Yes.
really ranking the people,
Yeah.
name me the best, you know, players in your opinion. I mean, it doesn't have to be 5, 10, just the best players um, that you think that you would make it to your ranking.
In 31K.
Yeah, let's say 31k.
All the Greeks and Titans. I mean, it would be from Greeks Dio, Heracles, myself. I would put Demo as well.
Demo,
Yeah, Democritus.
Democritus.
And I would put you, Beast, Mohammed, uh, Bubo. And let me think about other players from other clans that I may be unfair to them. Sparky. He's not on the Titans, right?
Yes.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sparky is a very good player. Um, that's about it. That's the players that I consider them to be the best players in 31K.
Mm.
I think it's pretty straightforward, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think pretty much the cascade of a knowledge of how to play 31k came from certain group of people. I mean,
Yeah.
when we talk about using pikes, I think Greeks, um, the source is the Greek clan, and nobody denies it.
Yeah,
Uh,
and
I
yeah,
mean,
and
I
then
think,
people adjust to it and
yeah, I
played it
just
differently. I don't say that the way we play, everyone else plays with the pikes.
no, I
Uh,
think let's say you created a perspective, you just created a new idea, yeah.
yeah,
So
somehow.
I think Titans also contributed to it too. I can
Yes.
see that on the way we play, um, the way the certain factions are used can be sometimes different. I mean, not much different to be honest. When I ally you or Beast, it doesn't really necessarily feel me much different, depending on a matchup. And also, I think when it comes to the using the ROM, um, we might say that it also originates from the Titans clan. So what I mean, in general, it comes from the certain group of people, and all the other players that are more or less good in 31k has either been to Titans,
Yeah.
or have been taught by Titans or the Greek. I mean, to Greek, I don't think they have been like, for example, Luke, Sparky, etc. But they have been to Titans.
Yes.
And also they kind of taught the others like Hamilcar, etc., etc. I think
Hmm.
it comes from the almost pretty much the same source, right?
Yeah, true.
So yeah, that kind of makes sense why you are setting up your ranking like this. Man, how about CWB? You know, I know a lot of names that I have never seen them play, like Zeke, Saint, Tacitus.
Yeah,
I
all
even
those
know that
players.
Diomedes is good in CWB.
Yeah, Diomedes was very good in CWB actually. I will put him on the top CWB players as well, along with Iraklis from the Greek clan. And then, without saying that they are number one or whatever you said in general, and also in general, excellent players in CWB are Luke, Nidintu, Madge, Tacitus, Zeke, Koala. He used to be a very good player. Who else? Uh, I don't know them all. To be honest, I haven't. I just played CWB for a very short period when I was playing Cup of Nations.
Mm.
But I think pretty much those are the best players in CWB.
Hmm.
Sen, Zeke, Nidintu, Luke, Tacitus, Heracles, Dio. Yeah, I think that's about it. Koala,
Mhm.
Ziz, not Zeke, Ziz. He
Man,
was also
this?
very good in CWB, yeah.
I I don't know that guy. Which clan was he part
A lot of clans.
of?
He used to be in HOS, I think.
Yeah.
Also COH.
Ah, okay.
You cannot keep track on CWB clans. They are all clan
Man,
hoppers.
what is the
Ah,
shittiest?
Hamilcar also. He's very good in CWB.
Oh yeah, he's a
Uh,
rather recent player, no? Or
yes.
was he active?
Recent.
Yeah. Man, what is the? I already said it. Perhaps some already heard. Maybe you too. Shittiest clan.
Shittiest clan.
Yeah.
OTD.
Man, I
OTD.
heard also Beasts talking some shit about OTD or some guy that was part of the clan. Why, man? Who were they? I know
Man, they were.
Cornovia.
I don't know if Cornovia is a member of OTD, but they used to play, I don't know, a very weird rule set with elephants and I don't know. And they had their leader was Rex, who was like, I don't know, 80 years old. Uh, yeah, that was, I think, the shittier clan, let's say. A lot of clans back at the day. I remember Chaos Clan, KAOS, which
Oh.
was a clan with Spanish talking, uh, Spanish speaking people, and they were, or Iberos also. I don't want to say shit, but they weren't that good in the game. I remember beating them while I was uh, new to the game and
Yeah,
playing CWB.
when I actually said shittiest, I was actually double thinking. Maybe I should elaborate what I exactly mean. But then, yeah, I think it's fair to say based on the skill, but based also on the attitude and the mindset, general intelligence. Which
Also
clan?
RV.
I was going to, I
I
was
mean,
kind of expecting you to mention RV.
I forgot about them.
Man,
And I'm saying RV because I didn't kept track of what they were doing. They used to play CWB, and then I don't know why they were declaring war to everyone. Like they declared war on COH, and they got you know vanquished by them. And then I don't know, they were disbanding. They had faking on tournaments, shit like this, man. So you can understand that it was a clan that it was a clan for me.
Yes, I think it was what 3 years ago when we had this, whole circus going on,
Yeah.
and I remember Earth recruited a bunch of dudes. I think majority of them were really young people, and it was so interesting how he managed to put all those people together. You're talking about CTG, I don't know, Pride, Heart, bunch of dudes that he successfully selected the ones that would fit into certain category.
Yeah, and the fact that there are things that I tend to forget, but now, as the discussion unfolds, I remember Earth retiring from the game for 5 times and then coming back, and then faking Kamaga in a tournament. I think Aragon has a very good memory about those things, but it was like, I don't know, man. It felt so fucking weird with this clan, and I didn't even played with them a lot of games. CW
I,
Dio
I
Dio
remember, man.
used
I
to.
remember one game, two versus three. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah. I remember Dio playing a lot with RV when for some period, he was playing a lot of CWB, so he was playing RV guys, a lot of 1v1s. And man, 90% of the games he would win. And all of those players were loudmouths. They were saying, not just Earth, a lot of people that used to be in RV. I think Luke was in RV as well, that they are very good, that they are elite. That's the definition they use for to describe themselves. And the fact that they were losing all major tournaments, and all the wars that they've tried to make, it kind of struck me that there are no serious people in this clan.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a very very strange group of people. That was actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if that the clan
And then
exists.
RV, I think, disbanded, if my memory serves me well, disbanded, and then Earth made new RV, and the initials were NRV. I mean, what the fuck, man? And then he left again, and he joined the Brotherhood, and then he revived RV for the third time.
I
Like
think
he
that's the
he was a fucking necromancer, or I don't know. And then he disbanded RV for good, I think. I'm not sure. I don't care, actually.
I think he's waiting for the moment.
Yeah, to
It's
make
it's
RV5, or I don't know.
yeah, it's you know, uh it's he's waiting for the moment. Yeah, it's
But speaking about clans, I would like to mention BH clan as well. That I'm so fucking impressed of how the determination of this clan, even though the lobby has 20 players, BH Games helped the game a lot, in my opinion. Even though, they're playing on a different maps, not in the grassy flatlands, they have a different opinion about the game. I mean, we're just a bunch of people who enjoy playing the game. So we are going to log in every Friday and Saturday and play the game. I kind of respect that, and the fact that they are so, you know, easygoing people in general.
But
But the problem with BA, the problem,
Mhm.
I'm not sure if it's a problem or not. The fact that there are a lot of people on Brotherhood clan. I don't know how many members they have. Of course, you will find some individuals who are a little bit retarded, let's say. I don't know how to put it in a good way, but in general, as a clan and as a contribution to the game, if you want, they have contributed to the game a lot. Because
Mm,
if you,
yeah, I
yeah,
think
I mean, nobody can deny that. If
I
it
think
wasn't
I think
BH, maybe we wouldn't have games on Steam.
yeah,
I-
maybe even we wouldn't play. It's
Yeah,
also
yeah,
the
yeah.
case
Yeah,
because
true.
I think it brings up a different aura, and the fact that there are some people on the lobby, it is definitely a different psychological effect than you come and see nobody continuously. I think that's the way they contributed to a big extent. And of course, I think what they also did good, they were really not picky when it comes to whom to recruit. And then it basically resulted in people sticking around and playing. So,
Yeah, true.
yeah. But I think they have some uh, foundational issues there. Um, like some of I do not consider BH clan as a clan that has evolved gameplay wise to to that extent, right? Um,
Mm, because they are recruiting, I mean, I can see new members even now. They have some new members on their clan. I think the newer players who are on BH,
yeah,
they play in a different way than the old folks of BH play. I
yeah,
mean,
I think
for
that's also
example,
true.
Spartan Commander plays the game since, I don't know, since the game came out, like he used to say on his videos. So probably his gameplay hasn't changed dramatically over the years, but someone who is recruited right now and he plays with other players as well, other clans, maybe he plays with Titans or HOS or I don't know, generally with other people, his gameplay it's not the same
No,
like
true.
the other BH players. It's different.
Yeah, I must give you that. That's true. Um, but what I wanted to say, generally, I think when I joined the game, what I saw from BH was that it was a really a group of friendly people. You just knew that they are there to enjoy and have
Yeah.
fun, be nice to the others. But over the years, what I experienced specifically with some people that joined, they kind of became weird, So to some extent, really not not really understanding where they stand when it comes to what do you say, skill difference, and not really thinking about it when they talk and etc., which was pretty strange. It's not like I think the bad players should kneel down in front of the good players. It's just uh, some of their guys went too far and really insults and talking shit and
I mean, that's why I said before that BH has a lot of players.
yeah.
Ever since they were around, they had a lot of players. I mean, you would log in the lobby in 2010 and maybe see 20, 25 BH players at the same time being online. Okay, statistically speaking, if you have 25 players, even though they wear the same tags, of course you will find someone who is not very normal, let's say.
Yeah, true. I
But
mean,
it
of course.
didn't but it didn't spoil the general idea of Brotherhood clan, which was just log in, play friendly games, enjoy the game, and that's it.
True. Not true. No, I mean, it's clear that we all like the game, and at least I respect the passion that Spartan Commander has.
Yeah,
And
me too, man.
not only that he continuously plays and generally in the same mood and the same attitude, but also that he uploads the games, and it's
Yeah.
really like he it feels like he enjoys this game, and I respect that. It's, the man got a passion, so you cannot say anything about it, and we got a passion too.
Yeah, yeah.
None of us can say that, you know I don't take this game not serious, but I don't care about this game because it's fun. I don't know. It's just how it is.
Yeah, a lot of us cared about the game, and you can see that when Rome Total War Remastered was about to launch, that everybody cared, especially you as well, to
Yeah.
send emails to Feral
Man,
about what we
yeah.
want to be fixed. And you too, you asked me, you asked Dio, the rest of the
Man,
Titans.
we worked on a project with Dio. You know that, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know.
Like Dio was so motivated, so freaking motivated about Remastered. And even the fact that I felt even more, sorry or, disappointed that his expectations were not met than mine, you know?
Yeah.
Because to be very honest, Diomedes is one of the first, I don't know if that's the reason, but he's one of the first, good, he's one of the 31k players, a very good 31k players that I started to play with when I joined the game. Like, with him, I would play against it was Mohammed and Skippy back in the day. And I mean, I didn't know how the game is going. Diomedes basically was giving me the orders, and then suddenly we were winning the game, you
Yeah.
know? Generally, maybe this really impacted me, and also his general attitude and whatever. He's one of those guys that I respect, and I really enjoyed playing with him or against him. And this remastered thing, man, I don't know. I really would want at least it would be something that also he liked.
Yeah.
Because it's like you like to play this game because also you like to play with certain type of players. And
Yeah, true.
if that would be the case, I would like it. I mean, in general, remastered was an absolute disaster. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it was a disaster, but the feral guy gave us hope because at start, we were thinking that, he's giving attention to what we are telling him,
yeah,
and we were thought that he was taking notes
yeah.
about the things that we were worried. But at the end, it turned out that he never took notice of what we said, and he just made a fucking broken game with better graphics. Nothing special about it.
That's so such a lost opportunity there because I mean we are talking about the guy who was the lead of the team that was designing remastered, a lead of the team, right?
Yeah.
I think his name was AD or something. And somehow we managed to get in touch with him, and he agreed that he would want to have a report from us, and we all contributed to it. I remember you, Mohammed, as well, and specifically myself and Diomedes. Um, what?
But the thing is, at the end of the day, he designed a game based on single player, I guess.
Yeah, but man, they didn't improve a lot of things because AI was the same AI. Like for example, also you see this pathfinding and stuff in the game. Nothing improved. They just modded the game, basically.
Yeah, could be that too as well. I have no.
Yeah, because I played remastered. I mean, I didn't add mods. I just played remastered, the vanilla or like
Yeah,
the original. And nothing is the different. Nothing is different at all.
I don't know, man. Maybe it was like, at least, what I don't like is, being fooled by someone else, because at the end of the day, he was just fooling us, messing around with us. Like maybe he was trying to, get the feeling that we are valuable to him. So
Yes.
we buy the game. I don't know, man. The thing is, at the end of the day, this game is like, even campaign wise, I prefer to play the original ROM with those fucking shitty graphics instead of remastered.
Yeah.
Everything is pretty much worse, I think.
Yeah. No, yes, man. Like he, what I was asking to him is at least to give us an early access. You know, I told him, at least a couple of guys, you can give an early access. And what we're gonna do, we just try it out and tell you specifically, and it will only help you because, the bunch of guys have played this game for years, and specifically when it comes to battle mechanics and etc., uh, they will be a great, source for you to identify certain issues and work on that. He didn't, man. He did not. They were given the fucking early access to bunch of YouTubers. Of course, I understand, but a Rom Total War is type of a game that almost no YouTuber have played it good. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm talking about mains.
Probably they were thinking like, okay, what we can see from the stats, how many people are playing this game online? 50 people, so no need for us to pay attention to what they're saying.
Yeah, maybe.
And of course, they don't know how good those people are in the game, that they know all the glitches, all the bugs of the game, because they have played so many hours, so many battles of this game. So they said, okay, this is a very limited amount of people that they may buy the game. Probably, yeah, but I don't know how well it went in the market. But I guess the people who bought the game bought it just for the campaign. Have a new version of Rome Total War with better graphics. You know,
No, true, true.
people that used to play Rome Total War in the past and they were playing just single player will give it a go. Maybe people who were disappointed from Rome 2 because it had way different mechanics than Rome 1 would, try and play remastered, which is Rome 1 with better graphics.
Hmm.
At
Yeah,
least that's how they were advertising it.
yeah,
And
true.
some fixes and improvements which are fucking bullshit. Like if you see, I saw the first, change log, what they are going to improve compared to Rome 1. They were all the things that were supposed to be improved, single player based.
Hmm.
Nothing about, units and stats and, performance.
No,
Just campaign.
no, that is a really lost opportunity. It's it could have been a different story with the game.
And
Like,
also BH was,
yeah, they were pushing for it also.
yeah,
They,
yeah, yeah.
I think they also got in touch with them, or they were getting in touch with them through different channels and etc. Um, and I remember, man, at some point, there was also some drama that took place, that Earth figured out that we are getting in touch, and he wasn't happy that it's not going from the older community, not because we might mess up in communication, but because we would be positioned as more important people in front of this developer group. But
Oh,
I'm
really?
like, what the fuck? Yeah, yeah, man. It was actually very, very hilarious.
Yeah,
Anyways,
imagine even though we are 30 people, we will find a reason to fight, right?
yeah, man, that's actually so, you know, one of those things that defines this community.
True.
Like, it's just so interesting, strange, type of people that are playing this game. And then, I remember like a couple of weeks ago, no, a couple of months ago, it was pretty much myself, Beast, and Bod in the lobby. And Bod was declaring a war on us, you know. And but still, it was fun. It was
I mean,
funny.
really, in 2024, I mean, in order to declare war in 2024 in a game like Rome Total War, it means that you are out of reality.
I think
At
so
least
too. That's one thing. Yeah,
you are out of reality, man.
that is 100% the case. Oh, it's
I,
100% the case.
I mean, you can understand that most of the people that play Rome Total War right now, they're just, playing for fun and, just to chill out.
Yeah,
Nobody is playing competitive
yeah.
nowadays. At least 99% of the people, they don't play competitively Rome Total War right now
No, man.
because they don't have the time to play competitively. If you want to be competitive, you need to have a lot of time to play a lot of games and try things. I don't know.
But also, man, that competitiveness. I also have a opinion about it. No matter that you have a time, that there is an activity, there's a good players around, and there are, tournaments, healthy competition. I still cannot say this game, that you can have a competitive gameplay experience because the game is so unpredictable and so poorly. I'm not. I don't want to sound like. In general, it's a really great game, but it is not the type of game that is that responsive, that smooth, that athletic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That the moment we have glitches, the lag, and I don't know certain things with the game, it cannot be considered that competitive too. No?
Yeah, the fact that we ditched Game Ranger, actually, we were forced to ditch it because a lot of players that they were, waving the flag of Game Ranger, like Dio, for example, stopped playing. And right now, we are just logging in to play a couple of games.
Hmm.
And in order to play on Game Ranger, we have to organize it somehow, like invite people, yo, are you interested to play on Game Ranger? But nowadays, because, we're getting older as well, we don't have that mood and that excitement to set up a game.
Hmm.
So we go to the safe solution, which is
Yeah.
Steam. So we log into Steam, and whoever is online, we can play with uh,
Yeah.
with them.
But it's even between Game Ranger and Steam. I mean, it's a different version of a game too. There's such a visible difference that
Yeah, yeah.
it's it's
Man,
it's
the code is altered on Steam in Rome Total War. It's 1.51.
yeah,
The original version is 1.50, which is on Game Ranger.
yeah.
I don't know what the fuck they did. Even the replays, they are not compatible.
No, no, no. It's not. And
So
like
they altered something. I don't know what. And
this is such a shitty version of the game. Even
yeah,
what we have like as an official legal game. It's such a shitty version,
yeah.
and like I cannot dare to say competitiveness because the moment I have those glitches, some things that should be working but didn't work because of something didn't go wrong, didn't go right in the game, it throws me off completely. Like it affects my mood. So I lose interest to keep up, to build up the attack, or to try to win. It instantly does. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. Like, uh, I don't know. It feels way different. I think I don't know if it's the same with you. I'm just like I don't have any. How do you say that? I don't have. I, it's what I said before. I just go online sometimes that I don't have something else to do, just to spend my time or waste my time or whatever.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Right now, I think I play way more often. Not because I have an agenda to achieve something, but because pretty much Beast is
Yeah.
around and I really like it. And because Beast is the guy that made me stay in the game because of his YouTube channel. When I started playing in 2018,
Yeah.
um, you know, it was his channel that gave me an idea that okay, no, there is some complexity in this game. There is some, some, and I was always interested in something that you can improvise, that you can bring some tactics, some strategy, and you can impact the way the game is moving along. And Beast gave me that perspective, and I never had a chance to play with Beast as much as I do now. And it's really fun for me, and I like it. And that's all about it. Um, but yeah, of course, I mean, I can say that it's not about competitiveness. It's not about winning. No, it's there is something there. There is still something. The moment you are outlying a Titan, you don't want to lose. You don't have to lose.
Yeah.
And it's also a part of being a little bit competitive there. You have this will to win. It's nice. Okay, man. So other question. Um, By the way, tell me when we have to. I can sit here and speak with you until morning. And by the way, it was clear to you just to let everybody know. I wasn't prepared for this interview at all. Actually, I wanted to, and I think the first time we discussed with you, Cleo, it was like maybe 2 months ago or something, right?
Yeah.
And since then, once I actually opened the Word file, tried to put down the questions, but I only made it until three questions and I didn't know what else to ask, you know? But then I realized no, I speak to Cleo, it can go for hours.
Yeah.
So that's just still let me know when you have to go, but I don't want to also make it extremely long for the people
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, man, what is your most favorite faction?
Mm, Pontus.
Hmm. Do you consider yourself as the best with Pontus?
I don't know, man. Yeah, from the Greeks, yeah, they also admitted that I am the best player in the clan with Pontus.
Man, let
So
me
I
tell
think,
you.
yeah, maybe yes. I don't know. Other players play with Pontus very well as well.
No, true, but I think you have a special ability with Pontus.
I with the chariots, you mean?
Specifically with the Amok chariots. What do you do there, man? How do they always come and attack the exact same spot that they should generally not come?
I don't know. I calculate where they're going to run amok, and I have navigated the course that they are going to follow when they run amok. No, I don't really know.
No, no.
You know what I like about Pontus is like it's a cheap faction, so you can get gold 2 pikes, which
Yeah.
are all right if they are not getting shot to shreds. They can hold their own. and you can use the chariots and master out the enemy line, even though they have healthy numbers.
I think it's
I
by
mean, with Pontus, it's all about timing, like engage and use your chariots the correct time to get a mass route. That's why I like Pontus a lot.
not true. It makes sense. So, who is the best? I mean, I'm actually kind of copying your questions. Now I remember
Mhm.
them. I think I've already did a couple of questions that you have asked. Anyways, I copied the concept, so I can also copy the questions, right? Um, who is, in your opinion, the best player with Greek city-states? Or a bunch of players, you can also say. Or just
Dio,
one.
I think the best one is Dio.
Mhm.
Exit. I'm between Dio and Heracles, to be honest.
Mm.
I would go for. Actually, there are a lot of good, very good players with Greek cities. It's Mohammed, it's Dio, it's Heracles, uh, it's you. Uh, I will name those four.
Who do you think is the best player using Macedon? Or a group of players, again.
I will name me, Dio, Bubo, you, Mohammed, and Sparky.
How about Carthage? Man, you have to say that one name with Carthage.
Dio.
No, man. Man, I genuinely think, out of every games that I played against and with, I have never seen anybody at the end using Carthage better than you.
The funny thing is that every time we play together and I have Carthage, it's a fucking GG.
Yeah, man, I mean, the thing is, the fucking Sacred Bands is such a mystery sometimes. I mean, generally they're OP, right? Specifically against the
Yeah.
pikes and shit. But they can be such an mystery. Out of every player, I think you are. I mean, I haven't seen anybody to be so decisive consistently like you.
I and you know I don't take Carthage that much against other Pike factions because I think like I want to have the disadvantage, let's say. But yeah, sometimes when I take Carthage, I don't know, man. It's like the whole world opens in in my vision because I know what I have to do. I'm going to attack. They have worse spikes than mine, so I can do everything. I
But
can do anything that I want.
yeah, I think
So
also to make it clear, I mean, people might think that okay, this is the easiest faction to use, but honestly, it's until you use Carthage in a team battle. In one-to-one, yeah, potentially easier. I mean, it also
yeah,
depends. But in team battles, it's a very, very complicated faction, specifically when you have an opponent that one of them has Rome,
yeah,
or the moment you fight against, pikes and I don't know, the Spartans combined and all this shit. It can be very, very complicated. They can,
yeah, true.
and also it feels like they're one of it. I don't know. I'm just came up with the thought. I feel like you have you're more likely to have a chain route with Carthage than any other faction too. I don't know if it's true, but all the time my sacred bands start routing all together.
No, I think it's pretty hard to get a chain route on Sacred Band infantry, especially if they're Gold Gold 2.
But
But also, also Dioman was very, very good with Carthage. Extremely good.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I can't necessarily remember with you. I
Because
do.
he's very good with Spartans, he was also very good with Carthage. It doesn't go always like that, but you know, he had the mentality, the attacking mentality that he used with Spartans with Carthage as well.
Mm,
And he has the advantage, you know, he
mm,
can also bring cavalry. So I would say Dio, myself, and Heracles for Carthage.
mm, mm. I think yeah, I think yeah, it's not because it's a strongest faction or just for the people. It's just it's a faction that you really have to be so precise in order to be able to, use its advantage. So you guys, I mean, you specifically, I never seen Heracles use it. I don't remember Dio, but I can
Yeah.
imagine. But yeah, anyways, um, Seleucid man, who is the best player with Seleucid?
Dio, uh, Bubo, uh, and Heracles.
Makes
And
sense.
you know what? Also Hasima. Hasima was very good with Seleucids.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Why? What was the how was he generally using? Was he combining legionaries or like chariot
He's
katas?
he's the thing is that I give Seleucids to Hasi is because he's a very good team player, and with Seleucids you need to be a very good team player
Mm,
because you have an inferior infantry which your allies need to take care of,
mhm,
but you have the cataphracts, and if you use them correctly to help your allies, it's gonna fucking win the game. So
mm,
Hasi was very good at supporting with cataphracts and making your life easier with them.
mm,
That's why not because it's his faction, but I think that Seleucids is a faction that is in a team game should be given to the player who obviously knows how to play pikes and cavalry, but he's very good team player, and Hasi was pretty, very. He would take one for the team
mm.
for fun, and use his cataphracts really well and use them exactly in the point that they were needed. He wouldn't waste his cavalry doing Rambo Jumbo shit.
Hmm. Yeah, man. I think if I think cataphracts is the unit that I would generally struggle the most with, and
Yeah, me
it's
too,
not
man.
easy. It's
Seleucids is my worst faction. I mean, I don't like it. I find the cataphracts very slow. They tire easily, and the infantry that you have doesn't help you. So I prefer to take a Pontic version of Seleucids, or at least a mix.
yeah.
Like also, always take two chariots at least and four cataphracts.
Mhm.
I can't take six cataphract, man. I mean, I feel very fat.
Yeah.
When I play with Seleucids, I feel very fat. I mean, it's like someone tells you you can sprint only twice, and so make those sprints count. Because if you make more than two sprints, you're gonna fucking die from a heart attack. I can't stand that.
Yes, man. I exactly have the same heaviness feeling with
Yeah.
Seleucid.
It feels like I'm becoming fat when I play with Seleucids. Like I can barely move. Like you have to. Every move that you make with your cavalry fucking counts a lot, and I don't like that.
Yeah, yeah. I can understand. I can understand.
And their morale is not that good. If they're gold, it's fucking shitty, man.
Yeah, true, man. Also, they are very, I think, um, they are so vulnerable when they're getting countercharged.
Yes.
It just feels like that out of like they feel so vulnerable the moment you countercharge them properly. They route better than, easier than some other cavalry units.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. True. Except if they are gold too, so you stand your ground and let them fight with the mace.
Mm.
But yeah, that means that your city infantry is just gold, which make them super shitty.
Do you like to mix pikes with the legionaries or generally pikes only when you play with Seleucid?
I prefer pikes only,
Yeah.
to be honest, because those fucking legionaries do attacking wise they can't do shit. Even the pillar that they throw, they make the minimum amount of damage. Like if you throw Pila to a sacred band that has only 81 uh, hoplites, it's not like they're going to reduce by a lot. Maybe you're gonna kill 10.
Oh,
And then what are you gonna do? Just a studo. I mean, yeah, I don't
even
like
that
them.
difficult, logistically, it's just so much challenging because, it's always easier that you have one type of infantry and you
Yeah,
select
yeah,
them,
yeah,
with control double click and shit.
yeah, yeah.
I always mess it up, my formation. Um,
Sometimes though you have to take them
yeah, yeah.
for your allies. But yeah,
Um, Tell me, so with overall, let's put it, no, first, who is good with Rome in Rome versus Rome?
Beast, Mo, you, Sparky, uh, generally all the Titans. Hades. Hades is very good RVR, at least used to be. Uh, yeah, and Heracles used to be very good in RVR.
Hmm.
But right now, if he plays, he will be outdated. He used to play the play style of RVR was way different. But we are playing with this turtle formation.
Yeah,
So Heracles was the one who introduced this kind of formation. But right now, if you are playing RVR against a good player with this formation, 90% of the times you are going to get wrecked. Uh, because people use outflank more right now.
yeah,
In the past, it was, head-to-head challenge. Pila exchange, testudo, charge, Pila, blah blah. So yeah, I think Beast is excellent. Mohammed is excellent. You are excellent. Parky also excellent.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I,
And,
I,
and and the funny thing is that the players that I named, which are very good with Rome, they have all of them different play style. You have a different play style than Beast, than Mohammed, and Sparky as well when you play as Rome.
yeah,
And Beast has also different play style than Mohammed, Sparky, etc. So that's kind of interesting because you have on the same faction four different play styles that play this matchup in a top level.
man. To be honest, until mm, I played with Beast, Mohammed introduced me to Rome versus Rome. Nidinto also gave me a lot of games when I started playing. The Beast actually, his playstyle is so different. Like I think what generally our idea is we commit Cav when we are 100% sure, or Mohammed is really safe with his Cav. He counts on infantry. He goes for cav for absolute killer.
Beast doesn't commit his cav when he is 100% sure.
No, Beastman, yes, man, he does so risky moves. He starts to eating you up slowly, you know?
Yes,
It's just so
yeah,
strange.
I know what he's doing, but I'm not sure if it's worth it at the end of the day. He knows better, but like for example, charging urbans with cavalry and getting pillaged, even though maybe you rout one urban and get your cav to numbers of 20, I don't know if that's worth it because you are minus one cav. And I think in RVR, all things considered, cavalry is more important than infantry, I think.
Yeah, no, true. No, still, like, he,
But still, he manages.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
he somehow manages. Like, if when I look at this, the big picture, I would say that yeah, it's the idea that will not work at the end of the
yeah.
day.
The idea, yeah, theoretically it doesn't work, but me Beast makes it,
Yeah,
working just fine.
yeah. Um, with Rome against Pikes.
Ah, Muhammad.
Yeah,
Yeah. Also, you Beast.
but Muhammad and Beast are really, they are, um,
We, I don't know. We haven't played that competitive games we used to play against Titans, Spike versus Rome, but I get the feeling that Mohammed was more wise, let's say, when facing Pikes. Beast wouldn't make how do you say that? Uh, he wouldn't make take notice of his stamina, of his of his troops, of his I don't, he wouldn't consider all the factors to face a pike faction. He would get so crazy to kill the pike that he would leave some important things aside. On the other hand, Mo was very, more stable.
mm,
He would do what he had to do and, be more efficient, in my opinion.
mm.
But both of them, of course, they were excellent
Yeah, and
players versus
I
Pikes.
think they played against you, which is the you know the best practice that you can do with Rome against Pikes. There is I think there is not better than that. That they for over the years and years that they have used Rome against your Pikes, and I think also it's not only about the idea, but also generally they have a feeling to kill the Pikes, and they can
Yeah,
execute it pretty good. You can see it.
yeah. Like for example, it's I don't think anyone stands a chance against you, Beast or Mohammed, if he, like, let's say in 1v1, which is very unbalanced anyway, but Macedon versus Rome, like, I don't think they gonna lose a lot of games, no matter the opponent, because they know how to, use the faction advantage efficiently.
Hmm. Okay, so how about Pikes versus Rome?
What do you mean?
Name me a players that are good using Pikes against um, Roman factions.
It's Dio and Heracles. Uh, myself, but not as good as them. And I think you and Mohammed. I mean the guys who are very good in Rome versus Spike. They are also good Pike versus Rome because they know exactly what they have to look after.
Hmm. If you would ask me, I think I would put Dio on top of this list based on my
Yeah.
games. He the same way that you said with Mohammed being very smart, the way he's building up his attack as Rome versus Pikes. I think that goes to Dio when he's building his attack or defense against Rome with Pike. Like that guy was the toughest to beat when with Rome.
Mm-hmm.
But also you, I think, and also
Dio
it's
was more organized
yeah, I
than
think Dio
me.
was way more organized. But generally, it's the same way that Beast and Mohammed, mastered using Rome against Pikes. You also mastered using Pikes against Rome.
Yeah, because like if it wasn't Beast or Mo or Hades at the past, we wouldn't be uh, that good Pike versus Rome because we played against the best Rome players. So it was, it's for both sides. We became as good as we could with Pikes versus Rome, and on the other hand, they became as good as they could with Rome versus the Pike factions. And because Mohammed uh, liked to play with Pike factions as well, he also achieved to be a very good player as well with Pikes versus Rome.
Mhm.
But not with Seleucids or Pontus, but with Macedon and Greece.
Yeah. How about Pikes versus Pikes?
I think Dio, myself, Mo, Sparky, and you. And Bubo. And Bubo.
Hmm. Cool. Man, what is your most favorite unit in the game?
Sacred Band.
And what is the unit that you consider is the most unpredictable?
Fucking cataphracts.
And which unit is overall, you know, the strongest for you in any? I mean, of course, it's a rather stupid question.
The Urbans, man.
Hmm.
And yeah, the Urbans. I was between Urbans and Praetorian Cavalry, but I would go for the Urbans.
Is there, you know, a difference for you, well, let's say in Pike versus Pike? Do you feel like you have a weaker Pike when you are with the Bronze Shield and facing Royal Pikemen? Does it feel like that, or it doesn't necessarily?
No, it doesn't necessarily.
Yeah.
Because I feel long pike versus long pike, what matters more is excluding the archers, like if you have managed to eliminate the enemy archers, is positioning. By positioning your infantry better, you get to kill a lot of the enemy infantry. Because if royals are better than bronze shields, of course, but they don't have very good attack. They're not an attacking unit. All
Hmm.
the Sarissa factions are not attacking units. They cannot attack properly. Only short pikes, Sacred Band, Spartans, those kind of units. So it's all about how you use your infantry, how you place them. It requires a lot of micro long pike versus long pike because you have to try and create opportunities for your infantry to be on a 2 versus 1 situation
Hmm.
for me. And given the fact that they cannot run through you like they're not urbans or they're not sacred band to kill you fast. You can be defensive at some part of the battle and use your numerical advantage in another part of the battle and gain the upper hand.
Yeah, makes sense. Um, I was going to ask, how about, this unusual 31k factions? Like, I don't know, generally we select Germania, but also there are a bunch of other factions.
Yeah,
Do you
I
think,
like. Yeah,
yeah, which one do you like?
I like Britons just because of the impact they can have. But that requires a lot of, team play and teamwork. I mean, your allies need to protect your head hurlers.
Hmm.
But if they do, the damage that they can do is fucking. They can obliterate a whole infantry army, man.
Yeah,
And the
that's
chariots, because I like chariots, and those chariots they don't run amok, so I can use them all the time.
yeah.
And also, Germania has, sometimes I like taking Germania just of the mass route that, you know, if you go for Germania, you're just, it's like gambling.
Yeah.
You go, you throw all the shit and hope for the best.
Yeah, it does seem so. Man, what do you think about this? Now it became quite often that we face the opponents that are taking a lot of archer units. I mean, generally, I don't have anything against archer or whatever, but what is your thought, and why do you think is there such a shift in the army builds?
Um, just to be honest, those that kind of armies are brought by CWB players, and to be honest, it's not like what I know and what I believe is that infantry based armies, let's say, that doesn't mean that they have no archers, of course, have an advantage over skirmish armies in 31k rules because as the money grows, as the money increases, uh, archers become less and less valuable.
Hmm.
For example, if you are playing 50k, if you bring archers, you are a fucking idiot. They can't do shit. Uh, but I think that people who are bringing archers were tired of getting beaten in, let's say, vanilla 31k army builds. And but it's not like they didn't try those army builds in more competitive games and they still lost. But right now, because uh, no one from Greeks or Titans or other good players from other clans, they're not playing that game that often. And in order to beat those kind of armies, though, it's pretty much you require a lot of teamwork because if someone goes on his own, you are playing their game
Yeah.
because you are going to get isolated, blah blah blah. So if you are not voice chatting to discuss the tactics and how you are going to proceed to beat those kind of armies, because it will take a lot of time since the infantry fight will commence at the end of the battle instead of the start, let's say. Yeah, it requires a lot of teamwork, and because none of us is on the mood to do that, I mean, I will get bored after 2 minutes. Uh,
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not in the mood to play against those kind of armies, not because they are better or they are, I don't know, the new meta or whatever. It's just it requires a lot of time and a lot of strategy and a lot of communication, a lot of teamwork, which right now I'm not in the mood. Like like I said, I'm going online on Steam every now and so just to play, just to move my units, basically.
Yeah.
So if someone brings those kinds of arms in, it kind of spoils the fun for me because I'm not in the mood that I want to prove anything to anyone.
Yeah.
I just want to fucking play. It's not like I'm voice chatting with you and we're playing against two persons who have in total 20 archers and I we have to figure it out how we're going to kill their archers, and if we play right, correct, we're going to achieve this. But I'm not in the mood to do that. I don't have the hype to do this. We did that with Dio some years ago, and right now we did it. It's what I said. It's what I told you before. It's like we did it, and we proved that you know we are better players. Let's say. But right now it feels like I don't feel like proving this point again and again and again to specific people or with a different ally. And
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't mean necessarily with a bad ally, but whoever, whoever.
Yeah. I think.
Bec- because let's say we're playing a 2v2, and I just came back from work, I'm tired, I just want to play one, two games and then go to sleep. Uh, and you, same thing.
I
And
think.
we're playing 2v2. We are Macedon and Greece against two Roman factions, and they have like 14 archers. Yeah, of course, there is a way to beat those kind of army builds. But are you in the mood to do so? Because I'm not.
True, man. Like I think you summed it up pretty good the way I would also also explain myself, and it was a good example. Like you have a faction disadvantage, and no matter what the army build is, um, or there is even a straightforward army build which will be like you're gonna lose it even easier, but then your opponent takes archers, then the game becomes even longer, and they are counting on the fact that you might get exploited, and then you make a
Yeah, yeah, that you are going
mistake.
to, yeah, lose your patience
Yes.
because okay, this is dragging for a long time. I don't feel like, so I'm gonna do this, and if it doesn't work, which is not the correct strategy, fuck it, I don't care. A
Mm,
lot of times I have done this. Uh, yeah.
true, true, true. Yeah, and also the thing that I find even more annoying is, let's say it's the end the battle, and it's a if you take it seriously, it's a easy win, but your opponent just wants you to chase them, you know, get tired and then charge and all of this.
Y-
Yeah, it becomes not interesting.
I mean, it's not, but the point is, it's not like it's not something that we haven't dealt with in the past. We have, and it's pretty fucking boring, man.
Hmm.
That's what I feel. So, why should I put myself when I just want to chill into this, you know, battle?
Mm,
I would
true,
skip it.
true. Man, what do you have you know, to say to the people that still play this game? Maybe you have something to say, maybe not. That's fine.
Mm, I don't have anything to say, man. Really, what I'm supposed to say? Keep playing
B-
Rome?
blessings.
No, I don't have something to say. It would be better for everyone if we would go to Game Ranger. But because, we talked about it, other people have made videos about it
Yeah,
to go on Game Ranger and how better the game is on on that platform. But still, people stick on Steam.
mm,
So I don't think that will change anything.
true. But when I was expecting that you say, let's form up a committee and try to locate Dio and get him back.
No, it's up to him if he wants to come back to the game.
I want him to come back, Um,
Um,
it's I think I would just see having Beast by my side and playing you and Dio. I don't mind
yeah,
who's on Game
if
Ranger.
Dio comes back on Rome Total War, I will join HOS.
What man? Like you don't like Dio anymore?
Oh man, no problem with Dio. I'm just giving him, a motivation.
What he's an HOS executor or what?
Yeah, something like that. Or I will join RV. I will revive RV.
Man, it's gonna be UNRV, Ultimate New RV. You know, cool man. Honestly, I think it's rather a good point to finalize it. I'm pretty sure I will regret for not asking some questions.
We can make,
I mean, we're gonna make
pretty
follow up.
much was like a discussion more than an interview, I think.
Yeah,
So like it had things from interview and discussion, so we can do that another
yeah,
time as
absolutely.
well.
It's the some casual replay commentary then ends up to be, twice as long where we
Yeah,
continue with certain discussion. It's
yeah,
it's it's not a very strange habit anymore.
true.
But man, I think, yeah, I actually was looking forward to this, because I mean, you are the pretty much who wasn't, how do you say that? Who was not interviewed, but I know also the fact that you were not really interested in it when you did these things, and you were not really thinking about
Yeah,
yourself. But it was, yeah, um, I think it was a good discussion.
yeah,
I
me
think
too.
on my own, what I can say, I mean, you, Dio, Beast, Mohammed, have been, one of those players that made this game be fun to play. I mean, I would say pretty much the only players that made this game be fun. But also, Greek Clan, I think this was. I've been only to Titans,
Yeah,
but um, Greek Clan, I think, was the clan that in the past that I wanted to be part of. I wasn't even thinking about Titans or whatever. Not because of the way the guys are playing, but it's because the Greek clan has this, dark underground vibe. You know what I mean?
yeah, I understand.
That kind of vibe that it's really um um you know it's kind of a culture within this online community, and it's really interesting that as strangers even
Yeah.
though majority of you are the Greeks, but strangers managed to form something up like this. And I would explore years ago your forum and etc. And it was so good. And I met you in person. I met Leo in person. And when you do that, and it also is even more different meaning. It's not like, yeah, it's life and death. It's not
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
philosophy. It's just the simple thing that makes it be so much fun.
True.
So thanks for being around. Thanks for playing the game on behalf of Rome Total War community. Thanks for all the trash talk, all the fun, all the noob rapes,
You're welcome.
and also thanks for the talk, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. I really enjoyed this discussion.
Same.
So I will be around if you want to invite me again to your new studio.
Yeah, man. How did you like it?
Yeah, this fucking sofa is awesome.
Good, right?
All
Man,
right.
there is a coffee machine in the corner. I forgot to, tell you to, you can grab some coffee. Now we
Uh,
can have some coffee.
yeah, yeah, sure.
You gotta make me a Greek coffee though.
It's a Turkish man.
Man, is it a Turkish coffee or Greek coffee?
Turkish coffee man.
Ah, okay, man. Man, listen, one question. Are the members of the Greek clan, are they uh are they, you know, non-Greek resistant? There is a general perception that the Greek clan only accept the Greeks, which I think,
No, man.
I mean,
No. I mean, man, Bubu was on the Greek clan. Tomelaos is on the Greek clan. A lot of people used to be in the Greek clan and they were foreigners. But the reason that we prefer, let's say, to have Greek people is it's easier for us to communicate during the battle. And, it's also the cultural thing that, we have a lot of fun on the voice chat when we are three Greeks. You know, it's easier in all aspects. Having fun, communicating, playing the game, because it's easier to speak, in your native language and play. But yeah, we also had foreigners. We don't mind
mm,
foreigners.
man, actually, another thing. You are the leader of the Greek clan,
Yeah.
and maybe briefly you can tell me, or also tell to the others, you know, how, what was your journey like? And how did you get elected? Was it a straightforward election, or there were some objections? I don't know. There were some candidates.
And I started in the clan, and then when I started, I think the leader was Hasi. And before Hasi, it was Democritus. And before Democritus, it was Menandros. So when Menandros stepped down, he named Democritus as the leader, and then Democritus was swapping the leadership with Hasi. So Hasi was the leader, and then Demo, and then Hasi, and then Demo, blah blah blah. And when the game started, when they retired from the game, both Hasi and Demo, when Rome 2 came out, uh, Hasi was still the leader. But, as time progressed and I was ranking up, uh, and it was only me and Dio playing Rome 1, I think Leo proposed me as a leader just because I had, let's say, better relationship. I was more friendly with other clans compared to Dio. Because Dio, it wasn't very friendly with other clans, and in a big percentage, I can't blame him. He wasn't diplomatic at all. So even though he's a better player than me, the Senate of the clan decided that, we need a leader. A leader represents the whole of the Greek clan, so they thought it would suit me better to be the leader. But it didn't make any difference because when I was the leader of the clan, the only Greek players that would play was just me and Dio.
Mm.
So it didn't change our daily Rome Total War routine. It was all the same.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
also, it never felt like somebody has an authority over the other.
yeah, in paper, yeah, it was me. It's me, but it doesn't make any difference right now, and it didn't make any difference in the past as well.
Cool, nice. So that I just wanted to make it clear that we don't have some pesky member of the Greek clan, but the leader. So you guys better contribute, subscribe, and donate some money because this was an expensive discussion. You know, man, the people don't understand that I had to arrange, limousine transfers for you to come here to the studio.
Yeah, I know, man. So everyone who listens to this discussion, please, Pag, put a Patreon link on the description of the video so people can freely donate.
Absolutely. Okay, mate.
All right. So we will be back.
Definitely. 100%.
All
Then,
right.
thank you very much.
Welcome.
Uh, Catch up later, huh?
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye, mate. Bye bye, my dear subscribers. You are millions and millions in the numbers and keep growing. Right?
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck are you gonna do with all the comments that they gonna float on your channel and all the I don't know, man. You
Man.
should quit your job or you can, hire someone to answer.
Man, I think yeah, some guys are really good in, you know, YouTube business, specifically focusing on Rome Total War. Maybe I can hire them as admins to review the
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah.
Good. Good idea, man. You see, you also contributed to my business. So it's the type of guest that I want in this channel. So you all have to learn.
True.
All right, mate. Catch up later. Bye bye.
Bye.